The following is sponsored by Paxaus.
On the weekend of the 10th through the 12th of October,
I went to a big gaming convention called Paxaus, and I'm going to talk about it. Greetings everyone, I am Sister Lilia and welcome to my arm. So, with it now being the week after the event, I figured I should talk about it. Wasn't able to do vlogs on the individual days because I got home too late at night and was focused on uploading the photos from the event. So, I'm going to talk about this per day. Why can't I see the timestamp? So for the Friday, I got in early, and this meant I got to have a good look around the event. Now I got a bit of time on the floor. I got to have a bit of a squeeze at the various areas. There was quite a lot of stuff set up for tabletop. One-page rules were back again with their various systems, and they had a whole lot of space to themselves. There was painting areas for both Games Workshop and a, I think it was titled Friendly Local Gaming Stores painting area that was basically a painting area where they had Duncan Rhodes paints on demo for people. There was lots of different games on demonstration, a whole area where you could just sit down and play various small games. While there was presence from different tabletop game manufacturers, there was a lot more focus on card games and board games. So like The Sims has a board game now. Asmodee had a massive presence there, so too did other companies as well. There's some kind of LARP event coming up with the people behind House of War. So they had a cool space for photos, and here's one of me on an organ. Unfortunately, I forgot to go back there on the Sunday or the Saturday, so I didn't end up actually getting any shots of me operating the organ like I was a Sister of Battle. I'm like, well, an exorcist operator. Basically, the section was set up so that on one side there was the tabletop gaming, and then on the other side there was the video games. I didn't really get to play much in the way of the video game side of things. The moment the doors opened for attendees, the video game section was packed. It was busy-ish on Friday, but it was flooded on Saturday. But I'll talk about that in a bit. I wandered around grabbing photos of various cosplayers and taking a look at all the stuff that there was to have a look at. There was a board games section where you could get to sit down and play board games that were borrowed. There was a huge Settlers of Catan section, which was cool. There was also free play sections for both video games and console games. And in theory, if you had the hardware with you, you could probably play various handheld games. Now, they may have had hardware online, I didn't check. But yeah, there was quite a lot to do. And there was also panels each day, and there was a big content creator from Australia called Jazza brought his big monster that he's been working on with Looms Workshop to the event. And it took him like 15 to 20 minutes to get into the damn thing. It was a big task to get into. It was a cool monster, though. I'm not going to lie. Cool monster. And after they had their initial bit with down in the open area space, I helped with moving the creature upstairs and got to borrow the and as a result had hold of one of the arms for a while. That was fun. And I ended up helping them set the thing up, and we had a whole lot of fun around there. Continued wandering around and seeing various people that were there, catching up with a few friends that I know through the cosplay scene, even a few gaming friends that I know. And then I found the impromptu 40k meet. Turns out there was a whole bunch of 40k cosplayers there as well on the Friday, and I got photos with a number of them. I also ran into a few beforehand and afterwards. And yeah, it was awesome to see so many 40k fans over the weekend in cosplay. Admittedly, some of the ones that were at this meet
didn't do the meet the day after because they were cosplaying from Marvel Rivals the next day. But, well, that happens. I really got to add some armour to my tech pressed cosplay.
End up closing off the day by going to the panel for a cosplayer run panel filled with fans of Hades and Hades 2, talking about how developers don't exactly consider real-world physics when they design costumes a lot of the time, especially for that game. I'll preface this, they are fans of Hades. They love it enough that they cosplayed from it. But they had a hard time working out, some of these bits aren't connected to anything. Some of these things don't behave like that in real life. What are body parts and so on? Like, the designs, they're awkward to translate into reality. And yeah, it was a fun panel. And that was the Friday.
With the Saturday of PAX, I'd been up late the night before getting the new additions to my Sister of Battle cosplay ready enough to be wearable, so I ended up getting there a bit late. And so I raced past a Miku meet, did manage to get a photo of an Urza cosplayer, and then made it to the Warhammer meet and got kitted up. So the Warhammer meet was awesome. There was a living saint there, there was plenty of tech priests, there was plenty of guardsmen, some Imperial Navy even, and a Yarrick. There was a Yarrick and an Inquisitor. It was an awesome meet, and there was a Tau. That Tau ended up getting everyone pointing their props at them. Sucks to be the Tau, but yeah, it was a good day. I love the shots we got with the Living Saint cosplayer, and I did get a few myself. Admittedly, a few of the kind of same pose. But yeah, the meet itself wasn't the only point in time where I ran into 40k cosplayers. There was more there. But after the meet, I headed around, or continued around, and grabbing more photos, getting photos with people. Then something happened. Somewhere along the line, the alarms went off, and we all had to evacuate. The staff did their job. They did as good a job as they could. They marshalled everyone out as best as they can. Thousands of people dumping out from the entire MCEC into the front areas is going to require a lot of work. That being said, I then proceeded to go and grab photos both on the way and then when it was all clear. And yeah, there was quite a few cosplays there. Now, I'm hoping these are coming up clearly on screen. There's a lot of pictures, and I can't guarantee that the editing software is cooperating. But yeah, good old Patchett. So we got some more photos with Jazza's monster that I'd helped move the day before, and also some photos with some Genshin cosplayers. I figured Navia holding a Sister of Battle greatsword works well, and grabbed more photos. And yeah, there's plenty of photos amongst the collection. And yeah, I grabbed a shot with the armour before I ditched the collar and the sword so that I could better travel around grabbing more photos and wandering around. Light had a habit of messing with some shots and helping with others. I got some gorgeous pictures of various people, including friends of mine, and the storm clouds started to set in, but they didn't actually really interact with us much until after the event. So yeah, as I was able to get most of the way home before the rain set in. But yeah, I grabbed more photos with people, and yeah, Saturday was dedicated to photo taking. And a point I'll raise: if you're going to wear big, heavy armor, that's going to be what you do that day. especially if you're carrying new things and wearing new bits that are heavy and tiring. That's going to kind of drain you out a bit, especially if you don't take breaks, which is unadvisable. Anyway, on to the Sunday. So for the Sunday, because I both wanted to get photos at some of the booths and because the leg armour is awkward and would have got damaged for some of those photos, I chose to swap the loadout around. I dropped the collar in favour of having a plain backpack topper. I increased the number of secondary armaments and swapped out the power sword because I can store a maximum of more than 4 on my waist at the moment, but primarily I run 4, 2 power swords, 2 plasma pistols, 1 of each light up, and also getting a Warhammer miniature, which I've already done a video on. So the main focuses on Sunday were grabbing photos. There was a lot of cool cosplays. I did not get any good photos at the at that Chainsaw Man booth, but I got quite a few at the Tron booth, which was cool. That light cycle is uncomfortable to sit on, but looks amazing. I've got many a photo with folks. Where possible, I have credited people, but it requires me to either know who they are or be able to or vaguely recognise them all for them to have given me their names. Also, at this point, I was kind of dead on energy level, so my facial expressions aren't all that great some of the time. So yeah, there were a lot of amazing cosplayers. So far as I could tell at the event, there was 4 main Sisters of Battle in power armor. There was a Living Saint, at least 2 to 3 Repentia, and many other things across the 3 days. Now I've stacked shots together, partly affected by their aspect ratios, and my forgetting to change the aspect ratios on some of the time. But yeah, there's quite the collection of cosplays from various fandoms. It's cool to see Madoka come back. Admittedly, it's got a new game, but still, it's cool to see Madoka come back. And I'm happy to see the Baldur's Gate cosplayers are still around, and the Vocaloid ones. Also, Expedition 33 has some cool costume designs. I missed some of them. I've seen some of them from photos afterwards and been thinking, geez, these look amazing. Yeah. God Doka. But yeah, we've got so many cool costumes. And my camera deciding some of the time to not want to take good photos. And got fun video that I need to turn into something for this platform of a Plague Doctor, which might be an SCP, and some of the staff getting exhausted. So it was a big weekend. I don't blame one of the enforcers for wanting it to take a break. But yeah, it was fun. I had a good time. I need to get more stuff done ahead of events, but well, ADHD will do that. Anyway, I most certainly would recommend going. And even though this is a sponsored video, I'd still recommend going. So yeah, being sponsored by them hasn't really affected my opinion of the event. I've been going since 2017. Or, yeah, I think it was 2017. Or maybe 2016. But yeah, the event itself is good. But yeah, anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you to Paxaus for sponsoring me to go to the event and for sponsoring a few of my videos. I look forward to working with you guys in future. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.